Hello, I'm Gregory Khan, developer of Glass Leaves. In this video, we're going to be talking about the swap procedures, and probably oversold this video already by calling it advanced manipulations. You see that it's not, it's not really any more advanced than any of the other things, but whatever. So we'll start with our usual sample text that you can load up from this little link here. It is the first part of the first chapter of Heart of Darkness. And here, under procedures, we're going to choose swap in nouns from another text. So as the name of the procedure implies, what it does is it first finds all the nouns in your input text, and then all the nouns from a secondary text that I'm about to load in, and swaps them with each other. So here, you can obviously paste in any other text. Here is where I want to suggest that if you like using Glass Leaves, do make an account because it's super powerful to be able to save and load text. I know you can't see this drop down, but I'm about to load in a text from a random book that I found on Project Gutenberg called The Blue Castle. And having these texts saved just makes it so much quicker to get running with, especially if they're texts that you already like and want you're going to be reusing. Being able to save and load text is extremely useful. Okay, so the swap nouns procedure has run, and you can see that the nouns in the first, the pink indicates what's been replaced, and the green is the new noun in this context. And you can see they've all been replaced one-to-one with the nouns from the new text. And that's it. That's what the procedure does. It's the same for swap in adjectives or swap in verbs, exactly the same. So now I'm just going to change that to swap in verbs. Hit process. Look at the differential again, the delta, and you can see it's replaced all the verbs. One side note here is that you may notice in using this that it's not always perfect, the word class detection. That's just because of English. Sometimes nouns look like verbs look like nouns, and it's very much context dependent. And sometimes the word class tagger, which is what I'm using under the hood, can get confused. But, ballpark figure, I would say it's probably like 90 to 98% correct. So yeah, just a little side note. Okay, so the other procedure that I wanted to touch on was actually the swap via matched pattern. Yeah, so you can see the swap via match pattern from another text. I explain what match is and how you construct match patterns in the advanced text analysis video. This is probably the most advanced part of this video, and so I highly recommend going to look at that if you're interested in using this. It operates on a high level. It's the same process as the other swaps, but instead of it being a particular like word class, like nouns, verbs, adjectives, you actually have to provide it this match pattern or this match pattern query. So we're going to choose this one, which is one I use all the time. And this is going to capture phrases like apple of the eye, the clouds of rain, any phrase like that. It will find that phrase, that kind of phrase in the first text, find those phrases in the second text, and swap them. So I'll run the process again. Look at the diff. Okay, I may not have chosen the best text, but here what it's done is it's replaced flutter of the sails with rest of her, turn of the tide with attack of that pain, and you get the idea. It's extremely powerful, this one, just because, again, you can kind of choose any pattern that works. So yeah, again, highly recommend looking at the advanced text analysis video, or if you want to just play with the matching part, you can just use the match pattern procedure and test out patterns to see if you get good results. So here you can see I've just done match pattern, which what match pattern does is just pulls out all the fragments that match the pattern. So here we have flutter of the sails, turn of the tide, reach of the Thames, beginning of an interminable waterway, sails of the barges. And again, this is just to show you, like, if you wanted to use this match pattern, you know you're going to get some results based on this text. If you use swap via matched and use the same pattern. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to cover again, if we come back to swap, one of the swap ones, I wanted to talk about saving procedures. So again, it comes back to people having accounts, right? Like, and it makes sense for you to have an account if you're going to be using this quite a bit. So we'll save this. We'll call this swap in nouns from. I think this is still the Blue Castle. Chapter 1. Save that. And what it does is it saves any array of procedures that you may have here, including any secondary ticks. So right now I've saved a procedure stack with one procedure that is swap in nouns from another text and with this particular text. So if I get rid of this, right, click load, and I know you can't see the drop down, but I'm gonna choose swap in nouns from the Blue Castle chapter 1, which is the one I just saved. And it just loads it right in. So this is very handy if there are certain procedures that you already like, especially procedures that involve secondary ticks. Like maybe, maybe I looked at the Blue Castle chapter 1 and was like, oh, this one has a lot of nouns that I like for whatever reason. And I want to just swap these nouns from this Blue Castle chapter 1 into different texts, and I want to keep trying that. This is very handy for that, because all you need to do is load it, like choose a new input text, load this procedure stack, and you're good to go already. So it just makes everything a lot faster, as opposed to, just having to choose the same procedure again, go and copy paste the same text again, that kind of thing. Anything else to say? I didn't mention this, brief mention, how you save text is from here. So let's say I wanted to save this, whatever text is in the input. I just go save text and say new text I want to use. Save. And then you will be able to load it again from here. New text I want to use. And you can also use it in the secondary text input if you want it. Yeah. Cool. So in this video, I covered swaps, both the swap by word class, i.e. like nouns, verbs, adjectives, and I also covered swap via match. On the side of that, I covered saving and loading texts and how powerful and convenient they are, as well as saving and loading procedure stacks and how powerful and convenient those are. That's all for now. There will be more manipulation videos and more procedure videos to come. But yeah, this is quite an important one. Thanks for watching.